Dear students, we will be covering this much of topics in our this particular lecture. Let us have a look which are the topics we are going to cover. So this lecture will be covering the topics of pavement surface characteristics, which is also sometimes called as PSC. FUL, the full form of FUL is friction, unevenness and light reflecting characteristics. Then we will be covering the details regarding super elevation also, the definition of super elevation, the concept of super elevation, and the advantages of super elevation. So we will be covering this kind of topics. So all these particular topics have various kind of importance in transportation engineering field. So stay focused, keep your mind here itself, and prepare your notes accordingly. Thank you. There are various kind of pavement surface characteristics, which is in shortly sometimes it is called as PSC. This is the full form of this particular PSC is pavement surface characteristics. So what are the kind of characteristics which are the part of pavement surface characteristics? Then let me tell you that there are total three kind of pavement surface characteristics which can be memorized in the form of FUL. Now what is this full form of FUL? F means friction. Here the meaning of U is unevenness, and the full form of L is light reflecting characteristics. Let us discuss certain points about friction, that why there is the requirement of friction and what is the importance of this particular friction. Then let me tell you in brief that the friction between the vehicle tires and pavement surface is one of the most important factors. Why it is required? Because it helps us to determine the operating speed of vehicle and the distance requirements in accelerating and stopping the vehicle. We have been learning the basic scenario of friction from very small standard, very smaller age, but let me tell you that friction plays an important role while you are determining the operating speed of the vehicle, and when you have to decide the distance requirement in terms of accelerating the vehicle and stopping the vehicle. At certain times the friction plays an important role. There is a small thing called coefficient of friction also, which is denoted by small f. The coefficient of friction, or it is also called as skid resistance, it offers, or it is offered by the pavement surface it for the safety purposes. Whenever you are defining the friction of particular pavement, you need to define the friction factor, which is defined as f, and the value of f being being useful for determining the value of safety which is going to be provided on the particular pavement. So this is the importance of friction. Now there is another topic which is in collaboration with this particular friction, which is skid and slip. The topic of skid and slip are a bit complex. I am going to narrate and describe these topics in very slow motion or slowing manner, because if you are getting confusion between both of these topics, then you will never be able to understand the difference between what is skid and what is slip. Let us first talk about the skid. What is this skid? So let me show you one graph or one sketch. Let us assume that this is a particular road which is going in this direction. There is a vehicle, this is the vehicle, and it is going in this direction. Whenever the vehicle is traveling on the road surface and due to certain obstructions, let us assume that this is particular obstruction which is observed by the vehicle user or driver. Whenever the vehicle driver observes particular kind of obstruction on the road, he tries to apply the brakes. He tries to apply the brakes. Whenever he applies the brakes, what happens to the vehicle? This is the vehicle and these are the wheels. Whenever the brakes are applied, the vehicle wheels are locked. They are locked either partially or they are locked fully. They can be locked partially or fully. But as I have mentioned earlier, that while the brakes were applied, the vehicle was in motion. So due to the motion theorem, when the particular wheels of the vehicle are partially or fully locked, though the vehicle will try to move in the longitudinal direction, the wheels are locked, but the vehicle will try to move in the longitudinal direction, and the rotation of wheel or revolving of wheel will not take place. In certain kind of situation, this particular term is called as skidding. Whenever a vehicle is traveling on the road and the brakes are applied, the wheels of the vehicle are partially or fully locked, but due to the motion theorem, the vehicle will try to move in the longitudinal direction despite of the locking of vehicles. This particular phenomenon is known as skidding. So this was all about the skidding. Now, how can we understand that what is the basic difference between this skidding and slipping? So, what have you observed in the particular skidding mechanism? That in skidding, the brakes are applied, wheels are locked, the vehicle was in motion, so it will start or it will continue its motion in the longitudinal direction, and the wheels will not revolve because they are already locked. So this is how we can understand the skidding concept. Now let us move towards the slipping. This is the completely opposite of skidding. What happens in the slipping? That when the surface of pavement or the surface of road is wet or slippery, what happens? When the vehicle rapidly try to accelerate itself, one phenomenon will be observed, that the wheels who are in the static condition, when the acceleration is applied, they try to change their motion and they will revolve more. They will revolve more than the actual distance traveled by the vehicle. So in this scenario, in the skidding, wheels were not revolving and the vehicle was moving. In this, the vehicles are not moving, they are about to move, and the wheels revolve much than the longitudinal distance. So this phenomenon can be understood with the concept of slipping. So this is the particular two concepts of skidding and slipping, which are the incorporate part of friction. So we have learnt what is the important role of friction in the movement of vehicle on the pavement surface. We have understood the basic difference between skidding and slipping, that in skidding the wheels will not rotate, not revolve, and the vehicle will move in the longitudinal direction, and in slipping the wheels will revolve more than the longitudinal distance to be traveled by the vehicle. Now let us move towards the next concept, which is factors affecting friction or skid resistance. So there are various kind of factors which affect the friction or skid resistance. Which are those factors? Let me tell you in detail that how you can understand or correlate the concept of skid resistance or friction with the factors affecting. So the first factor is type of pavement surface. Another factor is the surface roughness. I hope that you all can correlate these points with the skidding and friction concept. Then the condition of pavement. Condition of pavement. Either the pavement is wet, it is dry, it is smooth, it is rough, etc. Then the fourth factor is the condition of tire. Then The fifth particular factor is vehicle speed. Then the sixth particular factor is about efficiency of brake. Then the another factor which is remaining to be understood is the load of tire. Then the eighth factor is temperature of the road surface. What are the factors which affect the friction or skid resistance? Type of pavement surface, that which kind of pavement surface is being provided, either it is bituminous or RCC or cement concrete. What kind of surface roughness is there? What kind of pavement condition is being observed? Either the pavement is in wet condition due to monsoon season, or it is in dry condition due to summer season, or either it is smooth or rough. What is the condition of tire? Whether the tires are new or they have been deteriorated due to wear and tear. What is the speed of the vehicle which is being traveling on the particular road? What is the efficiency of brakes being applied? What is the load of tire? What is the temperature of road surface? So these are all the factors which affect the friction or skid resistance. Now the another pavement surface characteristics that we need to learn is unevenness of the surface. This particular unevenness of the surface can be categorized into two parts. Either the unevenness can be in form of less undulation or it is in more undulation. If the pavement surface is even and less undulations, means the pavement surface, this is called as undulations. Uneven slope is called as undulation. So if less undulation is there, means the road is having smooth riding surface, then the vehicles can travel at a higher speed. It also affects the vehicle operation cost, because if the vehicles are traveling with the higher speed, if the surface is of less undulation, smoother road is there, then more comfort and safety will be there. And if it is of this kind of surface, more undulation is there, then the wear and tear of tires will be more, and the cost of particular operation, comfort and safety will be increased. So if the less undulation is there, cost will be minimum. If undulation is more, then cost also will be more. And the another factor is light reflecting characteristics. How can we understand the concept of light reflecting characteristics? That let us understand the concept that night visibility is affected by the light reflecting characteristics of the pavement surface. If the pavement surface is of light color or white color, then the surface will give good visibility at night during the rain. And if the pavement surface is of black color or dark gray color, then it will provide poor visibility in the nights when the wet surface is provided. Means if the pavement surface is of white tone, it will have much flexibility as far as visibility is concerned, and if it is of darker shade, then the visibility will be less, and it can lead to the accident prone zone also. So these are the pavement surface characteristics. First we learned about the friction, in under which we learned about the skid concept, slip concept and factors. Then we learned about unevenness, which is divided into two parts, less undulation and more undulation. Then we learned about light reflecting characteristics, that what kind of color of the pavement is having also affects its surface characteristics. Now let us discuss about the concept of super elevation. How can we understand the particular concept of super elevation? Then let me show you the concept with the figure. Let us take a road of this kind of road is there, and a vehicle is traveled. This is the vehicle which is moving in this particular direction, forward direction it is moving. Whenever particular vehicle is trying to move across the road, there are various kind of loads or forces which will be acting on that particular vehicle. First, what are the forces acting on the vehicle moving on a circular road? Then first, centrifugal force P, which will act on the vehicle. It will be act in this direction. This is the centrifugal force P, which is having the equation of P is equal to WV square by GR. Then the another force which will be acting vertically downwards, At the CG of the vehicle, it will be weight of vehicle. The weight of vehicle will act in this vertical downward direction. This will be capital W. And then the friction force will also be developed between the wheels of the vehicles and the pavement surface, which will act transversely along the pavement surface towards the center of the curve. So let us take this is the particular road surface and these are the vehicles, then it will act along this particular direction. So this is the particular forces which will be act. Let us extend this force lines. Now what happens to the vehicle which is moving on a circular horizontal curve? Let us take this road as the circular horizontal curve. Okay. So when a vehicle traverses through the horizontal curve, which is this is the horizontal curve. The centrifugal force acts horizontally outwards, which is in this direction, through the center of gravity of the vehicle. This particular phenomenon may cause the overturning of vehicle because this force can cause the overturning of vehicle in this direction. To avoid this trouble, this particular outer edge, this is called as outer edge, this is called as inner edge of the road. Outer edge of the road, inner edge of the road. The outer edge of the road surface is raised, this is raised with respect to the inner edge. The amount by which the outer edge is increased as compared to inner edge road surface, it is known as super elevation or cant or banking. Let us understand this concept with the help of a basic figure. This is the particular road, which is this is the particular road on which the vehicle is moving. These are the wheels. Let us take this as this is the inner edge of the road, this is the outer edge of the road. So what happens? The outer edge is having raised height than the inner edge. Let us call this as the X, this as Y, this as Z. You can see that the height of inner edge is this and the height of outer edge is this. The outer edge height is more, YZ is more compared to X. So this raised height is called as super elevation. It is denoted by E. This is called as super elevation. In form of equation, this can be termed as E equal to YZ, which is this YZ divided by XZ. It is this YZ by XZ. If you solve this, you will get tan theta. YZ by XZ is equal to particular tan theta, which is this particular angle. And basically, in practice, the inclination theta, this is called as the inclination theta. The inclination theta with the horizontal is very small. You can see this is very small amount. I have shown the bigger picture due to better understanding, but in real sense, the particular theta is very small and the value of tan theta, this tan theta hardly exceeds 0.07. So this is the criteria of super elevation. So how can we understand the concept of super elevation? I will narrate all the concepts of super elevation which we have discussed in technical definitions, its equation and its sketches. Let me rub this particular thing. What is the particular super elevation? So the concept of super elevation, how can you understand? When a vehicle is traversing through a horizontal curve. So this is the first point. Horizontal curve. The centrifugal force acts horizontally outwards. Centrifugal force acts outwards through the center of gravity. It may cause the overturning. If you don't want to create this overturning, you have to provide higher outer edge as compared to inner edge. And this raised outer edge as compared to inner edge is called as super elevation. It is also called as cant or banking. The equation of E is equal to YZ by xy is equal to tan theta. Yz by xy is equal to tan theta. This is how you can understand the concept. Yz by xy. Yz xy means this by this. You can get it by this tan theta, and it hardly exceeds the value of 0.07, which is fixed value. Now let us talk about the advantages of super elevation. If you are providing the super elevation, then what are the advantages one person can get, or the passengers or goods can get? The first advantage is that the passengers and goods can be transported very safely because the chances of overturning will be reduced. Second advantage is that the vehicle can traverse the horizontal curve with more speed. The traffic volume can also be increased because the safety will be more. The maintenance of the road is also decreased due to less amount of accidents. There is no need to construct any kind of drains because the outer edge is always higher than the inner edge. So the automatic draining of a water can take place, and water will drain off the road surface quickly. So you don't need to provide any kind of drains. So these are the kind of advantages one can get. So this was the concepts regarding super elevation, friction, unevenness, light reflecting characteristics, and pavement surface characteristics. I hope you have understood the lecture thoroughly. Go through the lecture again and again and prepare your notes accordingly. Thank you.